Hey, I'm Josh Carter, personal trainer and body transformation expert, and I'm here with Donna, who is one of our Carter Fitness All-Stars. Donna, how you doing?
I'm good, thanks.
Good morning, it's great to have you.
Thank you.
All right, so first thing I'd like to do is tell us about you.
Okay. I'm 49 years old. I have 2 children. I started late because my daughter is 10 and my son is 6.
So you started to have kids like
Right.
Okay.
And I never was into exercise as a kid. I did musical theater and I danced a little, and that's about as much as I could do. I had asthma, which was never diagnosed, and now that's under control, which I think allows me to do more. And I was always chubby, and people thought I looked pregnant for a long time.
You got asked if you were pregnant when you weren't?
Yes, in fact, that was a major motivating factor. About a little over a year ago, people were still asking me, when are you due? And I'd say 5 years ago. And
Ouch.
it was more embarrassing for them, but I knew, I needed to do something. Something was not happening, and I wanted to take my body back.
All right. So you've been with us a while now, year or so?
About a year and a half.
Year and a half, years. Tell me about what your life was like before, when you were heavier than you like. Just tell me how your life was.
Well,
aside from being asked if you were pregnant.
Well, getting dressed was a challenge. It was all about camouflaging and trying not to look pregnant. I was on high blood pressure medicine ever since my daughter was born. I was nervous that I really needed to get into some kind of routine because my father had just died at the age of 62. When my dad was my age, when I started coming regularly, he had quintuple bypass surgery at 48. So I knew that something had to be done, that my life and genetics were working against me. Even though the women in my family lived a long time, it wasn't a happy life and it wasn't an active life. And I thought, if I'm going to live to 94, at least I wanted to be able to run around with my kids and hopefully grandkids.
So, so you made the decision to take control of your life and your body and your health. Why were you apprehensive, or were you? Were you thinking it was going to work, or it wasn't going to work, or were you think?
Well, you have this image of boot camp as this guy yelling at you, and
sometimes.
Yeah, and being Private Benjamin. I always thought it was like Private Benjamin with all these men who are hulking guys, and then little me trying to get over the wall or something. And I thought, I don't know what this is going to be, but hopefully. I brought my friend. That was important.
Right.
That was a major motivating factor, is bringing.
So you had a buddy.
My buddy, yes.
And she was in a similar situation to you.
And I told her, I said, if you can't afford it or whatever, I'll pay for you, but I need this for me, and I'm tired of looking at you the way you look, because I know what you look like.
You must be good friends.
Well, we got married the same year.
All right.
And we were at each other's weddings, and I know how good she could look, and I saw motherhood, doing the same thing to her as it did to me, and I said, no, something must be done.
All right, were there any obstacles in your way? I mean, you got 2 kids,
right.
You're married.
Yeah.
What were the obstacles for you?
Well, I still had a son when I started who was little and running around like a crazy person, and at the times when I could come, because my daughter was in school, I needed to bring him with, and that was really hard, and keep him occupied and all of that. My husband wanted me to get into shape, but we were, not eating the best at home, and he'd get into these fits and starts of exercise because he was an athlete as a young guy, and still is a very good softball player, and he's got power and all that. But he'd sabotage by bringing up snacks to bed with us every night, and potato chips I'd find in his car as we went on long trips, and things like that. So trying to keep with the diet was really hard.